I'm really excited to have Kristen come speak. We met on TikTok. So much talk about social media. That's how we met a couple years ago, and so now we've got Kristen Jacoby.
All right. I'm about to get on the stage, not the way I probably should, but it's so good to see you guys again. I feel like I've seen so many familiar faces and I love being here. Honestly, I brought 2 friends back with me this year because I said, no, I went last year. It was the best time. You're coming with me. So, and it's also, I have one of my best friends, well, 2 of my best friends, we played field hockey together in high school and we both ended up getting our real estate license. But I'm a bit of a yapper and I know we're probably hangry, so I'm going to try to keep this brief, fun, and exciting. I don't have a clicker. Okay, what does building a social group have to do with real estate? So we're going to dive into this a little bit deeper because I'll be really real with you right now. I did not build this with the intention of mending the two, but I'm going to tell you guys how I would if I did it over again. So I started Socials to Social 10 months ago. So when I came to this conference last year, before I left, I actually was known as Wedding Date Girl on TikTok. If you were here last year, you probably remember that story. Yes, the wedding date was an asshole. So now TikTok again did its thing, and I am now known as the Social to Social Girl. I am from Raleigh, North Carolina, and it's totally changed my life. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this. So quick overview of what we're going to kind of talk about. Again, I'm going to try to keep it quick because I'm starving too. So 10 months in 25 minutes. We're going to try to do 20. But yeah, started this April 2025. It's been a hell of a time. I did not know anything about the event industry. I started selling real estate when I was in college. I got my license junior year, started selling my senior year, was licensed in Virginia, ended up moving to Raleigh, North Carolina. So I got a really cool opportunity. And then, yeah, I got my license there in a month and moved. Didn't know anyone. Solo. That's my first friend ever, Nancy, in the crowd filming me right now. That is my girl. She was my very first friend in Raleigh, North Carolina. And that was one of the scariest things I've ever done in my life. I moved because I was trying to get out of a toxic relationship. My life was blowing up, but man, was I selling the shit out of some real estate. Holy cow, making 6 figures at 22, just turned 22 out of college. Yeah, it felt pretty good. So we are more than just events. The reason why I started Socials to Social was because there was a lack of connection. Now, we're all on social media. You guys probably see so many events now. The biggest ones are in Miami, New York, Austin. Austin's been a huge inspiration for what I do. But in Raleigh, I'm just going to say it. If anyone asks me if I said this, if you put this online, I'm going to deny it. Raleigh is a dinosaur city. It is so behind the times, but it's one of the fastest growing cities. It's projected to be something like Austin. So, but if you've ever been, you can walk in about 45 minutes. So I started this, and Socials to Social came to mind one day when I was in the sauna. Very random, but it's essentially bringing connections from online to offline. So that's why I called it Socials to Social. Again, did not anticipate starting this at all. So, I purposely put this in here. Also, yes, I am the one that got in at 2:40. It was 2:40 Austin time. It was 3:40 a.m. my time. So yes, I was making this last night in the airport at about 12 a.m. So bear with me on that. But all these people were from Belize and they came to my events. They did not know each other before. They showed up to a brunch social at Boatman Spirits. And I just kind of mingle around. I try to be a good host and go around and, get to know people. And they all ended up meeting each other. And it was just such a cool moment. I made them all take a picture. I said, get in, you have to go get a picture. So moving on. These are some highlight moments. So in 5 months, I did an event with the Carolina Hurricanes, which was insane. So that's one of the only professional teams that we have in Raleigh. It's the hockey team. And then this was another super dope event. It'll never be done again. I threw a DJ set on the top of a high-rise building. So that's what I call my set and social. And then over here, these are my sweat and social. So the goal is to incorporate something for everyone. I want to have a sober experience for anyone going down that journey, and then also have a DJ experience because, they're fun. I'm not going to lie. I have the best time at these events. So I'm working crazy. So here's a couple more photos. This was me on the bar on New Year's popping confetti. Again, this grew super, super rapidly. My first event was 200. I'm about to get into all of that, but this was the past sweat and social on Valentine's Day. We've just done some really cool stuff. And because Miss Lisa girl back there, my new bestie, I'm so happy I got sat next to her today. She said, if you don't say it, I'm going to scream it in the back. So I am going to say it myself. I am sponsored by Red Bull, which was a moment where I had to pinch myself when they reached out to me, having someone like that just about 4 months in saying, hey, we want to get involved. They financially support, they do infrastructure. The infrastructure at one of the events was probably 15, 20K that they brought in and supported one of the events. So when I say this thing grew quickly, I like blinked my eyes and I was like, oh my God, I'm now a founder of a company. I am working with companies like Red Bull. What the fuck am I doing? So let's keep going because this gets fun. 3 years ago, I moved to Raleigh alone. So, and it's funny, April, I guess, is just that month. So y'all better watch out because I went to this conference the month after because it was March. Was it the same time? No, it was different. Aaron, when did you throw this last year? March. Well, when I flew home, I was like, I'm going to share my story online. If you guys follow me online, you've probably seen a lot of crazy shit I've done over the past year, but I've only shared a fraction of my story. And today I'm going to get a little bit deeper because that explains a lot of what actually happened here. So 3 years ago, I moved to Raleigh completely by myself, didn't know anyone, changed brokerages, ended up working for someone that it was a really toxic environment. We sell real estate, right? Like it can get catty, it can get political, it can just be really unenjoyable. I got really, really depressed. So not only was I lacking community, I didn't have friends. I had my best blessing from moving to Raleigh, Nancy, because if it weren't for her, I don't know what I would have done. So essentially, no stability, depressed as shit, just trying to get through. And I was faking it till I make it, but you can only fake till you make it so long until you have to say, okay, it's time for a change. So I moved to Raleigh with just a real estate license and ambition. This is how it started.
Not my best hair day.
Can we get the audio up on that? This is a video I took. Let's see, and let me see if I can go back. And then this is embarrassing too. I have started to post this online, but that's what I look like. I look terrible. But I want you guys to hear what I say in this video because I can't even believe that I took it in the moment. And now looking back, life really does work out in a funny way.
I'm gonna document this because I find myself crying on the way to work a lot right now, and I want to be able to look back and say I got through that. So here we are, Monday morning, on my way to work. Thought I could do it with no tears. I have cried all morning. Even with my mom in town, went to the gym, and I was like, okay, once I take a shower, no more tears. So as soon as I walked through those doors, no more tears.
A lot of tears kept happening for months after. I was just not myself. I don't even, like, I recognize that girl. Like, my heart hurts for her because I know the pain that she once felt. And that's what drives me so hard to do what I do today. I got goosebumps on my head right now because I never want someone to feel the pain that she was feeling. And that's what drives so much. Fun fact, I've not shared this publicly on my social media, really. I moved to Charlotte because I hated Raleigh so much. People don't know that. But I was still selling the shit out of some real estate, I'll tell you what. I don't know how I went through everything I did and still did well in real estate. And I'm not saying that like, who was it that did like this move? Like, I'm not saying it like that. Again, I'm not that kind of girl to get up here. I even had to like get a little pep talk in the back to share parts of the story. But no matter what you're going through, you really can persevere whatever life throws at you. Like, you are so much stronger than you think. So from April 2023 to April 2025, I endured so much stuff that life threw at me, but it now all makes sense. During the time, I didn't know why it was happening. I was getting so aggravated. Why am I not getting out of this slump? Nicole Masters, I love that girl right there because she inspired me so much last year. And you gave me the confidence to get on the stage this year. I love you, Bill. Because I remember when you got up here last year and you were like, I'm having a moment. Let's all have a breath together. I have terrible anxiety. So you gave me the confidence back there. I was like, okay, I'm going to have my Nicole Masters moment. Like, I'm like, okay. So huge shout out to you. I love seeing your journey on social media. This is the video that changed my life.
North Carolina. Okay, so I talk a lot on it's got me thinking because I met so many. So then I got thinking even harder. I think I want to throw an event. But is that something that you'd be interested in? Like, would you want to come? I personally have anxiety when I go to events, so I will make sure that everything is there for you to know, like everything up front, like where to park, where to go, like the size. I mean, I would be there and I plan on like saying hi to everyone. This is just an idea in my head, but if you're like actually down to go, like I have a whole thing in my head of like what I want to do. I want to do it like kick off the summer. Ideally like have a DJ and just like have things to do so it's like not awkward, make it comfortable because if you come alone, like I want you to feel welcomed and not like stand around or anything because like that's my biggest fear going somewhere. So if this is something you're interested in, let me know and then I'll get cooking on a plan. But I need to know like if it's something that people would actually like want to do, you know?
So that is KJ. You guys might be like, does this girl have an alter ego? I'm about to get into that. So on TikTok, I am KJ. I did not want to mend socials to social and real estate. I'm purposely KJ on TikTok because I do not post professional stuff on there. Now, I'm not shaking my ass and doing all that kind of stuff. No. But do I curse? Do I do things where I don't want my real estate clients to quite know that? Yeah. But now, as Elliot said, I'm now known as KJ in Raleigh. I go out to the coffee shop and people are like, that's that girl from TikTok. That's KJ, the social to social girl. So people now know me and my genuine self, my goofy, weirdo tendencies. And I've now brought it to my Instagram and my business has never been better. I've gotten more clients from social media than before. I hate that it paused on that. But that video, that video went insanely viral. So it got a lot of traction in the community. There was one other social club in the area, but it was only for girls. And I was like, I really want to make an inclusive environment and bring everyone together. Because again, I don't want anyone to feel that pain that I once felt. And that might be narcissistic, but that's truly, I'm being so honest with you. So it all started on TikTok. I had this gut feeling in November 2024, and we can call it my mom Dina right now and say, what did Kristen say in Thanksgiving 2024? I said, Mom, I love my mother. She's amazing. I said, Mom, I have this crazy vision. I want to post this TikTok and bring people together, but I sat on it and you know those gut feelings. I know all of you have one and you have not acted on it. I did that for months until April 8th. I was coming back from a real estate appointment and I said, you know what? I'm going to post a TikTok. I felt good. I had the hair slicked back. I was wearing my grandma's white, what do you call that, cardigan. Yeah, I was feeling good. So I posted the TikTok, opened up my app. I think I even might have texted Lexi or something and I was like, girl, I got those 99 plus notifications. It's going nuts. So everyone knows me as KJ and not Kristen, but professionally I do go by Kristen, but now that's kind of why I'm KJ. So I swear I'm not like up here like split personality disorder. I just had to like make that clear. But I go by whatever. So TikTok, going back to it, you're probably like, but she didn't say that she sold real estate on TikTok. Why are all these comments coming in, these DMs? I started talking about TikTok in a very organic way. And something that I love that someone said earlier is if you are not your authentic self, it's not going to work. You can sit there and copy people, but if it's not true and authentic to you, it's not going to work. So the way that I coped with my story and what I was going through when I moved to Raleigh is I started to document my journey and talk about it online and help other people. Again, when I moved to Raleigh, I ended up moving in a place. I moved into like this tiny little house. Guys, that was the worst mistake. I was like so far away from downtown. So it was like, how do I make friends? At the time I was 22, I was like, I want to go out, have a good time, but also having anxiety that could feel an elephant. So I really put myself in a bad position. So what did I do? I went to the internet and just started vlogging, having fun, sharing my life. Ended up connecting with so many people. Miss Holly girl right here, one of my bestest friends as well. Nancy knows Miss Holly. And if it weren't for connecting with these people, it would not have resorted to what's going on today. So we have brought this into real life. I have not made money. Oh, wait, I made money on TikTok. I made like $161 last month. Ooh, yeah, the creator fund. But I have not made real estate money on TikTok because a lot of people are asking about renting. But I just knew one day I was like, it's all going to pan out. But I was just doing it for fun. I wasn't doing it with an ulterior motive. And I'll be honest, that's one of the reasons why I got into real estate because I saw the shadiness. And like in my hometown, you know that one name in your local market where you're like, oh yeah, fuck that guy. He does some terrible business. Yes. Well, that inspired me when I got into real estate. I said, I want to change that narrative. I want to be different. So I wanted to just help people. So I would just stand with people back and forth. I'd voice memo a lot, huge voice memo, Burley. But this was not a marketing plan. This was not a strategy of, okay, I'm going to turn this social club into a real estate funnel. That was not the intention. I just started this because I was like, ooh, this sounds fun. Let's do it. It absolutely blew up. This is Jenna. She is my assistant. And then Jake. So real estate is a driven relationship. Most agents, I'm not saying this to you guys at all, but we're cold calling. We're trying to, make that person convert if we don't already have that established relationship. So I wanted to do something a little bit different Community totally flips that model. I didn't even realize this, and Aaron, wherever he is, gets on my throat all the time about being like, you gotta do this. I'm like, I don't want to do it. It doesn't feel aligned right now. It's just not yet. But if I were to go back and do this from the beginning and start it, I would be sponsoring myself. I would be integrating Kristen Jacoby real estate into everything that I can do. Somehow making the cross in the beginning, because then it would be, there's one guy that does it actually in Virginia Beach, and he's done a really good job. He's with Real, but he's done the community events and does DJ sets and different things, but it's not real estate focused. So you're getting that lead capture, because holy cow, do I have a database of emails. It is a genius way. Now, I'm not saying go do it with unintentional. Oh God, I'm having an anxiety moment. Guys, what's the word? Motive, like a bad motive. Yes. Thank you, whoever. Was that you, Charlie? Oh, where? Oh, teddy bear in the back. Yeah. So you definitely can do a lot of lead capturing through this. This is our spring and summer. So this was our coffee pop-up event. This was so fun. I mean, the energy you feel in these rooms is insane. And it's also kind of cool because it's people my age, and now I am connecting, like, your client avatar. People always tell you go through and write down exactly who you want. I did that my first year in real estate. And now, 3 years later, I am working with those people. I am loving it. I'm working with people my age. We get to walk up in the house and we're like, what the fuck is that? I don't think I want that. You walk into one of those, oh, can I say that's one of those Mark Spain's lipstick on a pig listings, and you're like, yeah, we got to get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? All right. So I want to get into a little bit more the nitty gritty. If you guys are interested in doing this, please feel free to contact me anytime. I feel like that sounds so salesy. Oh my God. But I'm so passionate about this. I love it. I usually have really bad anxiety. I'm like shaking, but I love talking about this, that I'm just like a mile a minute, motor mouth up here. Okay, so this was the first Sweat and Social. We did a run, and then we did a Pilates class. When I first started, I was just doing everything, throwing things at the wall, see what stuck. The one thing about this is it's not a networking thing for me personally. I don't, unless I'm coming here like this, like I love networking and stuff like this, but when I'm back in Raleigh, our networking events are like 5 people, and it's one of those awkward, like, you just stand there and it's like, hey, how you doing? Didn't want that. I wanted energy, just stuff that you were like drawn to. I want to go to that. So then we did Set and Social. These are the 2 best performing events. So then this was the inside bar. I pulled from one event just so we could kind of get a vibe for everything. This was inside, this was outside. I just love that picture because people are now involved with the brand. They want to see where it's going. I had to release the events in advance because they're like, I got to take off work. And I'm like, is this really growing like this? This is crazy. But I definitely recommend having signature events, because if not, you are going to get bogged down in the weeds. So the first event release sold out in 14 hours, 200 people. If I were to do this again, I would do it the exact way that I started it. I would highly recommend doing free events. Now, that's great because if you're a real estate agent, write-off. We love a good write-off. I was financially backing this in the beginning. Was it expensive? Yes. But you guys are all so smart and you know how to negotiate like a wizard. I don't know why I said a wizard, but utilize those skills. Never pay for a venue. Don't. Like, negotiate that. We can get into all the weeds, but I don't want to keep you guys here too long. So, and I also started using Eventbrite. No. Free events, good. If you're doing paid events, absolutely not. They're going to take so much of your money and it's not worth it. And it's not as, I'm sure ChatGPT could probably do something up great here, but there are other platforms out there that'll do a much better job. I use Sweat Pals. So that's what I have, like a partnership with them, and I have all the crazy features, but you can really do some high tech stuff with Sweat Pals. So, and I'm happy to show you guys like the back end of the account, and then it connects to Stripe. So it's super easy how it integrates, keeps all your financial data. It's great. Because again, we were talking about this in the back. Running a business is hard. Yeah, I'm figuring a lot out. Had a team with the lawyers. I was like, oh my God, you're accountants. And it's also expensive. I don't like that. That part sucks.
There's no fucking way right now. I'm sorry. I did just say that up for. There's literally 1 ticket left. It's been up for 14 hours. I could literally.
So who's getting the next ticket? It sold out very quickly. That was when I got back from a real estate appointment. This picture right here, I was on my way to one. And by the way, I still sell real estate full time and run the business full time. I don't sleep. This was the very first event here. So when you're able to gather a ton of people together, there's so much happening. And this ties into the personal brand. I was unintentionally building a personal brand. I didn't even recognize it. So the way I kind of picture it is Kristen Jacoby is the holding company, and then I have my real estate company, and then I have social media because I've started to dabble in that, started to work with brands, and then I have socials to social. So we do eventually want to take socials to social and make it its own entity. I have not shared this publicly, but we are expanding, which is absolutely insane, and I'll share a little bit on that of how we're doing that. So event number 1 was about 4 weeks after May 17th. These dates are ingrained in my head. Sold out, free event, indoor, outdoor space, 2 bars, posted on social media. I would recommend posting on TikTok if you want to get more of an audience. Instagram is great because the algorithm isn't as weird, but I would definitely utilize both TikTok and Instagram, depending on age, generation, potentially Facebook too. Don't ask me about Facebook. I'm not good at it. Event number 2 is the Sweat and Social, which I showed earlier. And this is where I was like, okay, this is getting costly, but I did not want to charge people. I felt bad charging people, but when it turns into a business, you have your insurance, you have your vendors. Well, also don't pay for vendors. But you have things cost with them there that you have to support. And now I get the lovely privilege of paying security and staff. So it gets costly pretty quickly. Event number 28. Yes, I'm crazy, okay? I did 28 events in, what is that, April to December? I planned a New Year's Eve party in 15 days. Cost me $6,000. Any guesses on how much money we made? Oh man, I wish. Any more takes? Guesses? How much? 21. 21K. I profited about 8,500 for 15 days and, getting 2 more gray hairs up there. Not bad. Again, compared to what price point you're selling in real estate, it's comparable to real estate. But I was like, I'll stress myself out 15 days for something that I want to do too. The reason why I threw the party is there was nothing going on in Raleigh that I was like, oh yeah, I want to go to that. And you're telling me I have to pay $150 to get a free glass of champagne? But no, I had people, we had champagne and caviar. We had free pizza, gelato, because you have to have a value add. Just like when you're emailing someone, when they were discussing, Kevin, was this you? When you were like, I got to stop my email. They don't want to know about me. Yeah, I wouldn't want to either. No, I'm kidding. But you have to add value for people to be like, yes, I want to be there. So you just structure it out. Again, you negotiate. And I wouldn't recommend splitting 50-50 with the venue owner, but he is a great person and I want to have more relationship because he owns 11 restaurants and bars in the area. So that's another thing is I definitely value relationships more than anything because you never know who you're talking to. Let's speed this up because we got to get to the good part. We are on event number IDK, just kidding, 33. I did 2 events in one day. Whew, that one was a lot, but it was so fun. We did a Sweat and Social, then we went and did a a DJ set. Great turnout. Again, free event because I still want to provide value and do free things. People love the word free. Is it free to us? No. But what did that event cost me? Maybe like $600? I'm willing to do it. Throw a party for $600? Yeah, get all my friends together. And that's what's crazy is I have become friends with so many of these people. Pause. Do you guys remember last year when I said something and I was like, I called Aaron because this thing happened in real estate. I didn't know what to do and I needed someone to kind of coach and mentor me through it because this is when I became a independent agent. I have not shared this yet. I'm sharing guys, this is so fun. I've not shared a lot of this. January 2025, I had $4.2 million. If you ask me, we can really get in the story. $4.2 million worth of real estate stolen from me. How did that happen? Well, being me, I went to Spain. I was living in Valencia for about a little over a month. One of my friends that I played field hockey with in college. And I had a teammate show the house. My biggest client, been working with them for a year and a half. And then they were like, oh, we want to see the house. I said, oh, you want to see this one again? This means that it's the one. I've shown you so many houses and you never want to see another house. So then I had my team lead show the house. You guys can probably put two and two together and guess what happened? Yes. They ended up exchanging information, and let's just say it went downhill from there. It was a very shady situation, and I went my separate ways with that team, and that's how I'm now independent. That was the best thing that happened to me. Best thing. And you know what? I went on to sell 10 million. I looked this up yesterday. Last night, sitting in the airport at 12:34 a.m. or something. I have the screenshot next. And if you think this is AI, I screenshotted my computer. Yes, again, crazy girl. I got it out of tabs. That's what my brain looks like. I asked it, and this is everything. Now, I'll be so real with you. Did I still get a cut from that 4.2 million? Oh, fuck yeah, I did. You didn't think that I was going to try to, I'm not letting that go. Did we have to talk about it? And was it an uncomfortable conversation? Yeah. But I still got paid out a referral fee. So that does encapsulate part of this. But again, I am so grateful that this happened. When this happened, I was pissed. I was like, I don't like real estate. I'm burnt out anyway. I'm quitting. This is terrible. Life happens for you, not to you. If that did not happen, I would not have the drive to start all of this, nor would I have had the financial capital. And now looking back, that referral money, it was a good chunk. It was the sale of their home was 1.3, and the one that they bought was, I don't know, whatever adds up to that. It's about, 55K, 60K in commission. Not too shabby. But I got to start one of the best things ever. I've not paid the taxes on that money yet, guys. I'm a little scared. So TBD. But now let's go into how this started. And I know I mentioned your TikTok, your Instagram. I should have done my analytic. That was so cool how you did that. You got to teach me how to do that. The analytic chart thing, how you pulled all that.
Someone did it for me.
Oh, well, it looked great. So this is my page. I'm, again, just Kristen Jacoby. I don't really want to shove real estate down people's throats. So it's like, if you know, I kind of have it in my bio, things like that. This is also my personal page here. I did them separately. So, you know how I said I was kind of nervous about intermingling the two? Well, if you want to go laugh, this one's really funny. This was me last weekend. I went out with some friends because now I know so many people. I know all the bar owners. So I ended up going to one of the bars after, and I was helping them clean up. And it says something like, when you're always a regular, you become part of the staff or something like that. It was kind of funny. I thought it was. So this has helped me grow, and I'm showing you this because this has helped my real estate. I have now had 3 clients that I've met from social media. I closed one yesterday, and then I have another one I'm showing houses to, and then the other one's new construction. It's closing in May. So, and I'm not even as good as Elliot and all of them out here. I don't have systems or funnels. That was totally me being called out back there. That was me. So I have some improvement. I'm not perfect. I'm figuring it out. But I want to show you guys this so you can see what the true potential is here. I don't pay for ads. I don't pay for views. And it's all been an organic following on both my Instagram and my TikTok. This is a social to social. Instagram started this in June. And so we have grown. This is very exciting. We hit 8 followers last week, 8,000 followers. Also, if you want to see me get absolutely roasted, go to my one video that has, I don't know, it went super viral. It has 160K views. I said the listing price wrong. Talk about assholes in the comments. Yeah, it's okay. I'm still working on that. But anyway, to speed this up a little bit more, because there's some things I want to get through. This is how it started. That is how my TikTok started. And this is what it's at now. So I gained a lot of followers last year, but the best part is I've connected with my community. And that's what means the most. And if you want to see some funny vlogs, I vlog my entire life too, because I can't remember anything. So we love college. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. The secret is consistency. Just whatever you do, just don't give up. Whether you want to start a community group or sell real estate, whatever you want to do, just stick with it, especially on social media. I'm so happy that I never gave up, even when I had no views. But when you're posting for yourself and blogging your life, your mindset kind of changes. So this is really embarrassing, but I'm going to leave you with this. This was me September 2023. That makes me want to barf. This is me now. Totally different girl. Happier, glowing, different mindset, whole different take on life. And if I was not that version of myself, I would not be the version today. So burnout does have a look, but so does purpose and alignment. So that's everything I have for you. If you guys want to follow and connect, feel free to message me or talk to me anytime, and I'm happy to dive deeper into this. So thank you guys so much. Go eat. Sorry.
All right, we got to stay for 1 or 2 minutes, and then we'll have our hour break. That was awesome. One of the reasons I wanted Kristen to share is, one, I've seen a huge journey over the last year. Two, for those of you guys that have been a part of this for the last few years, there were a lot of things people pitched about before, of like just little meetups. It was like brews and something to go like talk to people about real estate, things like that. Elliot talked about having followers that are really centered in your area. Right. So like when she's looking at her following number, but 95% of them are in Raleigh, right? It's like this very kind of focused thing that she's done. And I've been teasing her for the last year to say there should at least be a sponsored by your real estate company, or all these people are like thinking like, hey, I want to move downtown, like apartment. So I've been trying to say like, hey, you should be making a bunch of money on your real estate company for this. But really like she's happy and she's working it. But I figured like the whole concept of that, I think there's a lot of ways you guys can adapt it into your own way and your own growth and own building. We got time for one question, and then we'll have an hour break. Ernesto in the back, or 2 questions because Nicole's all excited.
I actually don't have a question. I love your journey and your story and where you were and where you are today. If you guys are just watching her present and you feel like this doesn't resonate with you or it doesn't apply to you, something that I want to share that's been really impactful in my life, and I'm picking up like in different people's social strategy, like the power of creating community, whichever way you do it, is super impactful. Like I remember I hosted meetups in my apartment before I even had a bigger place to host meetups in. So whichever way you do it, when I watch people create community, gatherings, toy drives, coat drives on Nextdoor, like the people that create community and just bring people together, so much good comes from that. This is just her method of doing that. So there's any which way demographic activities that we can all be doing this.
Woo! Okay, you said that you might have started to want to talk about this, but I've been wanting to ask you this for like 6 months. Do you have any plans on like, I don't know if franchising is the right word, but like licensing out social? Like if I wanted to start a social to social in my community, can I get like branding and like get like stuff from you to have that? Because I don't really want to make my own. I want yours in my community where I.
Oh my God, I would love to chat about this more. I am in the process of getting it trademarked right now. So that's, again, another great expense, but I'm trying to figure that out. I've thought about the franchising, but then you get into all the licensing stuff like that. I don't want the brand to lose its purpose or authenticity. So if I did anything, I'd want to expand, but then like let's just say you and I hypothetically, I think it'd be so cool to have it where you are. And you'd be a cool person to run it too. You have the great personality, you align so well with it, is I would essentially want to make you like the face of social to social in that place. So eventually I do kind of want to remove myself from it a little bit and just help grow it and expand it, because it's more about the purpose of it, bringing connections from online to offline. So I don't know if I'd necessarily do the franchising. I'm not opposed, but again, I'm learning so much too. So I think that would have to be more of a conversation.
Cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kristen. Round of applause.